Welcome to Digital Asset News to get top stories in crypto and bringing on a bite-sized piece. Today, we're just going to go over quick snippets about some old Cardano price predictions and how they kind of fell a little flat as Cardano takes off essentially to the moon. Also take a look at NFTs and why I think it's the new gold rush as everybody is piling in. And we're doing a little quick NFT giveaway called the Golden Ouroboros, all from the guys at Cardano Combat, which sold out in 2 hours. And then we'll also take a look at Iran as they get back into Bitcoin mining. So pretty good weekend. And right now we're looking at, it is the 22nd, Sunday 22nd. And market cap has stayed pretty stable. I mean, look, we're at 2.06 trillion. Usually the weekends were dumps before, but now with the Asian market kind of getting out of things and China nowhere in sight, weekends are pretty stable, honestly. Sometimes we see huge rallies, and that's good. So Bitcoin price is 48.3. The sentiment is... We're using Trade the Chain for sentiment analysis, and it seems to be pretty neutral, but I mean, I'm feeling pretty bullish still. I think that there's some good things on the horizon, and that's just how I see it. I mean, Bitcoin was almost hit 50,000. We're like 49.7 this week, and then it retraced because, you know, just levels of resistance, but here we are. And then we got Ethereum, let's see, 7-day change, 3150, 2.57, 24 hours, Cardano up big time. And then Uniswap, Hex, look at that, up 8% for 7 days. Bitcoin Cash, that's going to make all the Hex people just ecstatic. Good for those guys. Polygon, Matic, Ethereum Classic, all that stuff. So that's what's going on in the market. Let's just jump over and get into today's top story. I thought this was fascinating because I just like to see, you know, where people's minds are at and where they think that things are going. This was actually a pretty good article a couple of days ago. Peter Brandt said there was a 90% crash warning for the ADA price. And to be fair, Peter did call the top of Litecoin, which I didn't think was super tough. I mean, if we take a look at the actual tweet, and this is all we're going to go over, the actual tweet back in the day, he said, yeah, in 2018, let me blow this up so you can see what I see. In 2018, when everything was going just bananas, Peter's like, that's the top. And that's great. And he called the top and retraced big time. Also, you know, Charlie sold everything. Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, which, you know, fantastic move. And anyhow, just went down. He's like, look, I called the top on this, and I'm going to call the top on Cardano. And he said back in middle May, beginning of June, he's like, that's it. It's going to retrace 90%. And it didn't happen. And what I really wanted to get out of this whole thing, this whole story, is really... When you're listening to people who are talking about it's going to do this and it's going to do that and price predictions and everything else, just be aware and just take it with a grain of salt because no one really knows where things are going. I think from what I've seen, technical analysis is great to find the positions to get in and get out, but to like really predict like where things are going like 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, I just don't see it. And that's just how I look at things. Now, if you've got a TA person out there that's been, you know, right, I don't know, 100% of the time, let me know who that person is because if that guy's even around, because I just don't see it. And Peter Brandt was totally wrong. And unfortunately, these types of things people listen to and they don't invest. And I just want to just bring it to light that just take everything with a grain of salt, do your own research, look into things. And if you just want to be safe, I mean, as safe as you possibly can be, this is just investment opinion, not investment advice. Just be an investor. Long-term investing, dollar cost averaging, like I've been talking about every single day on the show, it's like magic. Not like magic, but it really makes things a heck of a lot easier. You don't have to worry so much. So that is the big thing. And then to finish this article up, because most of it's just boring. When you come down here, just know that if you're looking at TA, resistance line, the next one is $3.41. That's crazy. $3.41 is the next resistance. And then next level of support is 220. And right now, we're looking at Cardano at 256. So look, Charles Hoskinson came out and he said we're going to hit our goals of you know, releasing these smart contracts in September. And we are right on our way, and there's nothing really to hold us back. That's it. Now expect some peaks and valleys, some rough spots, and maybe expect them to find some things. But I think things are looking pretty good. So that is that, and then of course, I also want you to remember something about the Cardano experts, is that people call it a scam and people call it a ghost chain and people call it everything under the sun. But just remember this, everybody who's, and usually it's like, I hear a lot of that from Ethereum users, which is weird. Like I own a boatload of Ethereum and I own a lot of Cardano, and they are like my second and third positions that I own. I don't understand why people get so upset about it. So just be happy for what happens. But I want you to remember this. When Ethereum came out, a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists looked at Ethereum and said the only reason that Ethereum is created is so it can steal wealth from people who have invested into Bitcoin, and it is a ghost chain, and it is a scam, and you need to stay away from it. Just remember that. All right, so that's what's going on there, and let's get into what I'd like to talk about, NFTs, the new gold rush. And now I can just, say it like this, and that is that the NFTs themselves, they're pretty hot. They've been around for a while. People seem to love them. I don't really get into them that much, but I can see why. And this was from an article from Andrew Miller, CEO of ATM Holdings, and he invested into home.com, Kenny.com, universal.com, creditcards.com, and insurancequotes.com. This was in the very early days of the internet, as you can imagine. And what he did is he got into the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is a bunch of NFTs that are super rare and super expensive. He paid, he said it was going for like around 4.5 ETH or so, and he really got into it. And what I found interesting was this. He says, domain name investors are some of the earliest explorers of the internet. That can be said for then and now. Many went on to become founders and CEOs of some of the biggest internet successes. I've been involved in $245 million worth of exclusive premium domain name sales on the internet. So all the money is made, usually at the very beginning. And he says, I'm not the only domain name guy fascinated by NFTs. The Booth brothers, two of the most reputable domain investors, made headlines for acquiring the 27th rarest Bored Ape, according to Rare Tools, for 400 ETH or 1.3 million. So look, it's not my job to understand why everybody is getting into NFTs and everything else and why they love them so much. I think they're good. I don't see them for $1.3 million, but some people do. And it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter if I look at a piece of art on the wall and say, that's not worth anything. And then someone comes around and goes, you know what, that's worth 30 million. Great. As long as you can sell it, that's what it really comes down to. So you've got a lot of people who were there in the early days now looking at NFTs, and that is a thing that I think we can all kind of get behind, which leads me to my next point. I am going to be giving away an NFT, and it is from the people over at Cardano Combat. And Cardano Combat, they actually reached out to me and said, hey, we've got an NFT for you if you would like to talk about it, and we'll give it to you for free. I'm like, great. I don't know how big you guys are going to be. Well, this is how big they were. They sold out in 2 hours. And what they sold out was buying a single NFT, and it's built on the Cardano blockchain. So for 7 ADA, you got a single NFT. For a 5-pack, it was 350 ADA, which is like 700, 800 bucks, something like that now, 900 bucks. And then a full set was 2,000 ADA, and they sold them all out immediately. So they go, look, we're going to give you one of our rarest ones called the Golden Ouroboros, and you can give it away. So here's what's happening. If you'd like to have this NFT, I'm sure at some point it may be worth, actually, I have no idea what it's going to be worth. And that's the great thing about NFTs. All you got to do is follow me at News Asset. It's right down there, over on Twitter. And this is pinned to the top. Just check that out. Just follow me over at News Asset. Follow the guys over at Cardano Combat, which is also put there in the tweet itself. Just give a comment. And that's pretty much it. And I'll draw this on the 24th, which is Tuesday, somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And you can win this Cardano Combat. And that's it. So good luck to everybody who wants to do that. And then that speaks to my next thing, which I want to make mention, is that, well, 2 things. First of all, follow this guy, Crypto Stash. I've seen him around somewhere around, but he knows a lot about NFTs and NFT gaming and things like that. And it seems to like really enjoy it. So like he's talking about, in this one, he's talking about Axie Pixie, whatever that game is, and something else, and some things I don't get into. So if you're interested in like gameplay and like earning crypto and NFTs, follow that guy. he knows a lot more than I do. And that also leads me to my next point, which is, of course, if you're looking for NFTs as far as domains, just like this article talked about, all the money is made in the very beginning. So if you're looking to get an NFT domain that ends in .zil, .crypto, .coin, which is the USDC integration, .wallet, .bitcoin, .nft, .dao, .blockchain, which again, these are not domains. Well, they're domains, but they're all NFTs, which they go into your wallet and nobody can ever take them from you because it is on the blockchain. So you have that. They've already got Chrome extensions, the Brave integration, Opera integration. They've got all these different wallets. Coinbase, blockchain, Cake just came out for open source Monero wallet, Bread, My Ether wallet, Chainlink. I mean, they got tons of this stuff. That's what you could do as far as like purchasing a domain. The link is in the description. It's very simple to find. Looks something like this. But in all honesty, this is why I actually have my domains from Unstoppable Domains, is because if someone wants to pay me for my domain, like I've got danteaches.crypto, instead of me saying, hey, if you want to pay for anything, real quick, Dan Teaches Crypto is 100% free. But if I was going to take payment, I could just say, hey, instead of sending it to Digital Asset News or to 0x537576, blah, 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 I can just say, just send it to danteaches.crypto, whatever you want to send me, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano, whatever else, and it can go to my wallet. So that's what I have. So check that out if that's something that you would be interested in. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with Iran and Bitcoin mining. So I think this just speaks to what's going on in the world right now, and that since China said get out, which I understand why they did it, because they don't want any kind of competition with the digital yuan. I totally understand that, but you know, bad move for them. Bad move for the citizens, honestly. But Iran's going to lift their crypto mining ban for authorized farms in September. So apparently you have to become an authorized farm. You have to go through the government, go through the paperwork, and they say, yeah, you're a Bitcoin miner, sure, go right ahead. Well, they shut that down when they had rolling blackouts. But now, temporary ban on crypto mining will be lifted on September 22nd. So this is good news. In a country like Iran, which I must admit I have never visited or know much about, but it doesn't really matter, because if we have more countries and they are allowing mining to happen and cryptocurrency to flourish, this is just good news for everybody, and I like to see those things. Now, if those miners they don't like it over there, you can always come to Texas. We got a lot of infrastructure building over here. We'd love to have you. So that is it for today. So look, that is what is going on right now. And the last thing I will say, and I went over this very briefly. When we talked about Peter Brandt and all the different price predictions, these were mine. So just so you know, just take it with a grain of salt. I can tell you that I believe that the market is going far and doing very great things. I just can't tell you exactly to the day of when things are going to happen. And I thought Bitcoin would hit 150K by the end of the year. I still think it could hit around 100, maybe 130. Ethereum, maybe 10K, Chainlink, and so on and so forth. And Cardano, my price prediction was $3 by the end of the year. And look how wrong I was. And I'd rather be wrong on the low end than the high end. So that is it for today. I want to say, if you made it all the way to the end, first of all, thanks for sticking with me to the very end. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. And that's it for now. And we'll see you on the next one.